Well, it's good to see you again, and we are starting another week. Seems like I just said that a couple of days ago, but the weeks are going by, and I'm thankful for that as we get closer to hopefully a deliverance from this great trial. I want to talk to you today about the potential during a time like this to have a sense of failure because you're not able to do everything you want to do. When your schedule's not the same and you can't go places and do things like you normally do, you begin to wonder if you're really accomplishing what is most important. Now, probably you are, but there is that sense of purpose that comes from just the things that we normally do. And when we can't do all of those, we have that uneasy feeling that comes into our life. And if we begin to start thinking we're not accomplishing, we're falling short, we're not getting things done, anxiety will build, and Satan can really then discourage us and cause us to not have the strength that we need to have in the important things that we're facing. I'd like to just direct you to the first part of 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 10. Paul said, "But by the grace of God, I am what I am." Folks, it's not about what we do, it's about what God does through us. And it's very easy for us if we evaluate ourselves on the basis of all we need to do and all that we know God wants us to do, and we think of that high standard, which we should. At a time like this, when we are held back, we can begin to just feel like things are not going as they ought, and there's something wrong with us, and we're a failure. And the minute Satan can get you on that ground, then he can really cause you to have some other issues. So we need to remember always when we get to thinking like that, anything I do is by God's grace anyway. It's by his wisdom, it's by his leadership, it is by his strength. It's not about me being successful, it's about me allowing him to be successful. He knows the trial that you're going through. He knows the frustration of these days. He knows the limitations that you have. He knows the altered priorities that are inevitably in your life. And if we will just rest in our soul and trust him and take the time each day to spend with him, he'll give you wisdom. He'll give you peace about some of the things you can't do right now. He'll help you not get frustrated about goals that you may have had a couple of months ago that you just can't reach at the moment because there's just not the possibility to do it. And he'll give you the direction about what ought to be done, and then that supernatural enabling called grace to do things that will count for eternity. And so it's very important that we learn to let go in our heart this human need to prove ourselves and to try to accomplish all that we think we ought to accomplish. Now, we need to really do everything God wants us to do, of course, but there are just some things we can't do right now. And there's other things we can do that God has allowed to be in our lives, and that's his will for this time. So the only way to put it all together is to take that time with the Lord. Ask him to give you direction, and he will. And evaluate your life based upon what he's allowing, what he's doing. Evaluate your life based upon what is truth. And just rest in your soul that God will help you. You're not alone in this. It's not about you proving anything. It's about allowing God to accomplish his will. And so I want to encourage you, if this has struck a chord in your heart today, would you take a moment right after we're finished here and just say, Lord, my life is yours, and I cannot let myself get discouraged. And feeling like a failure doesn't do anyone any good. I am what I am by the grace of God. Lord, take me, use me, lead me, guide me, and I'm going to be encouraged in you, not in what I do, but in what you do through me. And my friend, if you do that, there'll be great peace that comes into your heart. The fruit of the Spirit is peace. And may God give us victory over that sense of failure, and may we just enjoy knowing that we're a servant of the Lord and that He's going to use us today.